It's playoff time. That's right. The first round of the NBA playoffs officially tip off today in the bubble in Orlando amid the pandemic, and hoop fans are excited. But how will the first round shape up? Let's discuss. What's going on, Fumble fam? It's your boy Chris, but you can find me everywhere at CK2K. But make sure you subscribe right here, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to like this video. People, we are about to embark on the 2020 NBA playoffs, no matter how much we might have thought it wasn't going to happen. But we got to talk about this incredible first round that we are about to see. There's a lot of storylines, so let's see who we think will be winning in the first round. Let's start at the top of the Eastern Conference with the number 1 Bucks versus the 8 seed Orlando Magic. Now, even though the Magic technically have the home court advantage since the bubble is in their hometown of Orlando, there are no fans in the stands, so tough break for Magic fans. The Bucks don't look quite the same in the bubble so far, only going 3-5 in the seeding games, which led to Giannis speaking out on his teammates' effort. The question is, which Bucks will we get? But if I was a betting man, we would definitely see something closer to the regular season Bucks than what we saw in the past few weeks, as I expect them to defeat the hobbled Magic in 4 games. Next up in the East, let's talk about the second seeded Raptors against the still kicking Brooklyn Nets. Although the Nets are playing without any of their key players, Coach Jacques Vaughn even has this Knicks fan right here impressed with how the Nets are stepping up to the plate. Now, Nets have only lost 3 games in the seeding games round, but on the other side, the Toronto Raptors came into Orlando with a championship mindset. Coach Nurse has had a deep rotation throughout the bubble thus far, and the third stringers were very impressive. The Raptors are still one of the favorite teams in the bubble, and I believe they are able to handle the Nets without any issue as well, and they will move on to the second round. Next up is the series that could be one of the most entertaining in the first round, with the 4th place Pacers going against the 5th place Miami Heat. Now, this series may have extra sauce to it with the heated beef going on between Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren. This season series ended in a tie, and it will be ultimately decided here in the playoffs. The Pacers have been injured all season long, and even though they got Victor Oladipo back, they are without impressive big man Domantas Sabonis, which I believe will hurt them in the long run against the Miami Heat. I have the Heat winning this series in either 6 games or 7 games. And last but not least, let's talk about the Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, initially, this had makings of a great series on paper, but the Sixers will be without a key player, which could make this series a lot shorter than initially expected. The Sixers have been pretty disappointing all season long, as they only managed to snag the 6th seed when experts thought that this team was a top 3 team in the East. Now, I expect the hungry Celtics to take this series in a gentleman's sweep, leading to some big decisions in the offseason for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the Eastern Conference could be pretty black and white with a lot of the top seeded teams winning their respected series, but the Western Conference is not the same story. This one is a complete toss-up. Let's talk about that. Let's start off with the number 1 seeded Los Angeles Lakers against the exciting Portland Trail Blazers that climbed from the 10th seed all the way to the 8th seed in the bubble. Damian Lillard has been fantastic, dropping more than 40 plus points in 3 of the 8 games played. Carmelo Anthony rose to be the 3rd option for the Blazers, along with a healthy use of Nurkic. Now, even though CJ McCollum is playing with an injured back, he has still been impressive in their run. But let's not disrespect the Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers pretty much secured the 1st seed before the league suspension, but needed just 2 games to officially do so in the bubble. Now, they didn't play the best in the seeding games, but I still expect them to survive the Blazers' attack in a 7-game series. This one will be fun. Now let's stay in LA, as the Clippers are the 2nd seed, and they will be playing against the fun Maverick squad led by Luka Doncic. Now, Luka and KP MVP have been beyond impressive for Dallas in the bubble with impressive averages, but the Mavericks' problem has been closing out games, and I believe the Mavs will be fun, especially with Luka playing at another level, but I think the Clippers have the manpower to beat the 7th seed in 5 or maybe even 6 games. This series will be fun though. At the 3rd seed, we have the Denver Nuggets facing the 6th-seeded Utah Jazz. Now, this series may be a toss-up because the Jazz may have that number 6 next to the name, but when they play at a high level, they could be the 3rd seed just as much as the Denver Nuggets. Donovan Mitchell is determined to see his team make it to the 2nd round, along with Rudy Gobert and help from role players like Jordan Clarkson, Royce O'Neal, and Joe Ingles. Only problem is the Nuggets are starting to uncage their young talent a bit, with Michael Porter Jr. living up to all of his initial hype as well as other well-rounded studs. This series could go down to the wire, but I expect Denver to take this series. Now, the final series of the NBA playoffs here in 2020 goes to the Houston Rockets versus the OKC Thunder. Now, if you asked anyone at the start of the season where the Thunder would be ranked, no one would have looked you in the face and said, "Oh, they're a 5th seed for sure." Well, led by Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Thunder defied the odds and are now set to face off against the fast-paced Houston Rockets. Now, the storylines with this series are endless, as 2 one-time lottery picks for the OKC Thunder will face off against their old team, and CP3, who was just dumped this season to the surprise of himself, for Russell Westbrook, who is now the point guard of the Houston Rockets. This could get really chippy, but I'm going to give this one to the Rockets in possibly 6 games. Now, if you can't tell, I am beyond hyped for the playoffs to start right now. But guys, I need to know what you guys are thinking. What surprises do you see happening in the first round? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. It's me, your boy Chris. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. It's playoff time. I said it's playoff time. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out, and peace.